yes, we looked at him, but his agent also didn't want us to work him out because he didn't want him to end up with the Lakers because we are already top heavy with forwards. And that's why they wouldn't work out for us. See, I was there, so I can tell Jayson what really happened.
Okay, that's in response to Tatum saying he was never going to go to the Lakers or they didn't want him, what have you. It's funny now with hindsight being 2020, of course. So who made the bigger mistake here? Lakers not figuring this one out, or Tatum not even bothering to work out, Chandler?
Well, I think it's worked out just fine for Jayson Tatum and the Celtics, and coming off a championship and hopeful for another championship this year. But this happens all the time. You see certain top guys not, work out in certain cities, and you see guys kind of, leak to the media that they want to go here and they'd rather go here versus there. So this happens all the time. And as a player in the draft, you look around, like you look and see, okay, if I'm going to go in this range from 2 to 6, what players do they have in my position, and what's my opportunity? What's my role going to look like? Is there a possibility I start? So they were loaded with wings back then on that Laker team. So it kind of makes sense that the Lakers wouldn't take him. And obviously we didn't know for sure that he's going to turn into what he turned into, but obviously hindsight looking back, if the Lakers could have got Jayson Tatum, then yeah, they should have done anything in their power. But this is a two-way street. Sometimes agents don't even let players go to certain markets or teams just based on what opportunity it may look like then and there, which is kind of silly because given the history of trades and how quickly teams move on from certain moves. But I think they're both, I think have panned out just fine for both. But obviously the Celtics and Tatum are in a much better situation now. But that could also change.
Would he have been Jayson Tatum if he'd gone to the Lakers?
Yeah, exactly.
Would we have seen this guy?
Yeah, I think so. He was going to be Jayson Tatum anywhere. Looking back, since he's been in the league, they've got a championship. He's got a championship. I think it's worked out better. I think he's primed to win more championships at this point. But if you ever look at Chandler, you ever seen when they do the rearranged drafts from after everything is said and done, guys have done something, then they rearrange it and they say, well, instead of being here, this guy would have been picked here and there. Like hindsight is 2020, like Chandler just mentioned. Who knows what happened? Who knows if it had been a better situation? The Lakers, they have a history of building talent around guys like a Jayson Tatum, So I think the story probably would have been the same. I think he's still going to be the same player no matter where he goes. But, who's to say who made a mistake and who didn't?
By the way, the draft, it's all luck. I got picked 38th, Lou, and I started my 6th game of my career just because there was it was like Chase Budinger got hurt and there was literally nobody else. So I got drafted to the perfect opportunity. We started off like 1-5, put me in the starting lineup, and that's it. A lot of guys that were drafted ahead of me never got that opportunity and ended up in Europe in 2 or 3 years. So it's all about opportunity.
A little bit of luck, just a little skosh. Lou, you get an anonymous NBA executive moment, but I will say it's not as bad as some of the other ones. So I'll preface it with that. But it is an anonymous NBA exec who suggested kindly that LeBron should request a trade to Sacramento to team up with Fox and Sabonis. And I'm wondering if you think this would make the Kings.
I wouldn't put my name on that awful take either.
Come on. Are they contenders with LeBron?
I'm convinced that there's no anonymous NBA executive. That's just people out there saying stuff on Twitter and we make it anonymous. This is an awful take, man. Like, and then what? Like, and then what? You're talking about somebody that's 40 years old that we still have such a high expectation level for LeBron James. It's incredible. That's a credit to him and everything that he's done in his career. Like, we feel like no matter what team that we put him on, they're gonna be contenders. At some point, we just gotta be understanding and realistic about expectation. Like, so should he request a trade to Sacramento? I mean, he's on a team right now that's sitting in 10th. Sacramento is sitting in what, 12, I believe. Is that what we're saying? Like, trade him for who, for what? I don't want to give this too much steam because it's anonymous. I hate these anonymous things. So I'm not going to be the person that has a big opinion about it and you scared to put your name on it. I'm not going to put my face and my likeness on it for you not to say it. So no, I think this is an awful take. No.
All right. No.
I'll put my name on it. This is so ignorant. This is dumb. I think LeBron makes what are they
There you
going to
go.
ruin their
Thank you.
entire future? That were they going to trade like a Murray or a Kevin Herter or someone like a young prospect for LeBron James for this year? This is honestly probably the dumbest take I've ever heard. He doesn't make them better. He makes them worse, and he makes their future worse. This makes no sense. Like, sure, well, could he win some games this year for him now? But yeah, let's trade for a 40-year-old guy who we don't know how much longer he's going to play to Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
Get out.
It doesn't feel like that was the move De'Aaron Fox was waiting for the Kings to go make before he commits long term. The good news is, guys, the rest of the segment, no more anonymity. These are all people whose names are on the following statement. So followed up here with Chandler. Fat Joe said that Karl Anthony Towns is the greatest